What is reality made of when nothing remains to be seen? Not the atoms, not the particles, not even the empty space between them, but the silent field that breathes them into being. Welcome, friend, to the Sleeping Physicist, a quiet channel where the language of science slows into a soft unfolding. If the mysteries of the cosmos stir something within you, you might gently subscribe, so that these nocturnal journeys continue to find you in the dark. Now, let us wander together into the invisible ocean beneath existence. Imagine yourself standing in perfect stillness. The air presses softly against your skin. The hum of electricity in the walls merges with the rhythm of your own pulse. Every sensation, every whisper of motion is vibration, frequency, oscillation. Modern physics tells us that this simple truth extends far beyond your senses. Everything that exists, from quarks to galaxies, is made not of solid substance but of vibration in a vast and continuous field. A century ago, minds like Paul Dirac, Erwin Schrödinger, and Werner Heisenberg uncovered a strange revelation. Particles are not little marbles at all. They are ripples, excitations in deeper fields that fill all of space. Thus was born quantum field theory, the understanding that beneath the apparent diversity of matter lies an interwoven architecture of fields. The electron field, the photon field, the Higgs field, each one stretching infinitely through the fabric of space-time. When those fields quiver, a particle appears, like a note emerging from the silence of a string. Harvard's Sidney Coleman once remarked that the universe is not made of things but of waves that cannot decide whether they are particles or fields until you look. Imagine that, a cosmos built of hesitation, of shimmering possibilities awaiting observation. This is not metaphor, but measurable truth. In 2012, deep beneath the Alps at CERN, physicists detected a delicate ripple in the Higgs field, the Higgs boson, confirming Peter Higgs's 50-year-old prediction. That single tremor revealed the hidden scaffolding of mass itself, as if reality briefly opened its curtain to show the music behind the matter. If every particle is vibration, then every atom, every cell, every thought is a standing wave within the great cosmic symphony. Your breath, your heartbeat, the light dancing through your eyes, all are frequencies resonating through that same field. Richard Feynman, one of the architects of quantum electrodynamics, described how electrons and photons exchange tiny quanta of vibration, fleeting sparks of energy that appear and vanish faster than any clock could register. Everything, he said with his quiet grin, is made of fields, but we see only their notes. Close your eyes and listen to that possibility. An invisible orchestra where each field plays its instrument. The electron field hums a deep tone. The photon field shimmers in high strings. The gluon field beats a subtle drum. Together, they compose the architecture of everything you have ever known. In quantum field theory, frequency is not sound, it is existence. The higher the frequency, the higher the energy, the slower the rhythm, the heavier the mass. Einstein's relation, energy equals Planck's constant times frequency, reveals that matter itself is nothing but slowed down light, frozen vibration. The idea extends into string theory, where Leonard Susskind, Edward Witten, and others proposed that the universe is built from tiny one-dimensional strings vibrating in multiple dimensions. Each mode of vibration corresponds to a different particle. The universe becomes a grand instrument, tuned by the laws of physics, each note a particle, each harmony a force. Whether through quantum fields or strings, the melody is the same, Reality is resonance. Yet, even the seeming silence between the notes is alive. Quantum field theory shows that the vacuum of space is not empty at all but seething with fluctuations, virtual particles that appear and disappear in a timeless rhythm. Max Planck hinted at this zero-point energy more than a century ago, and in 1948, Hendrik Casimir proved it experimentally. Two uncharged metal plates placed close together in a vacuum feel an invisible attraction. Nothing touches them. Instead, the quantum vacuum between them vibrates less than the space outside, and that imbalance creates a measurable pull. Even emptiness has texture. Physicist Frank Wilczek calls it the quantum ether, not a substance that fills space, but the energy that is space. When you gaze into the darkness between stars, you are looking not into absence but into the living hum of creation itself. Imagine that field as an endless ocean, smooth and soundless. Each particle is a ripple on its surface. When two ripples meet, they interfere, amplifying or canceling, weaving patterns of light and shadow. Those interference patterns are atoms, molecules, galaxies, people. The waves change, but the ocean remains. David Bohm called this the implicate order, the hidden dimension in which everything is enfolded within everything else. What we perceive, the explicate order, is merely the unfolding of that deeper wholeness. As air vibrates to produce sound, space vibrates to produce matter. The field vibrates, and from its vibration, the visible world arises. Fields are global. They do not end where objects end. The electron field that hums inside your atoms extends through the stars. There is not one electron field here and another there, only one undivided. Every electron in existence is a local whisper of that single universal entity. In that sense, separation is illusion. When two particles become entangled and their states remain linked across light years, they are not exchanging signals faster than light. They are still expressions of the same field. Alain Aspect's experiments in the 1980s, and later those of Anton Zeilinger, proved that this spooky action at a distance is real. Reality is not local in the way we once imagined. The architecture of the quantum field ignores the boundaries of space. It behaves as one continuous organism. You, too, are part of that organism. A resonance among resonances, a chord within the cosmic score. As your awareness drifts across these words, the same field that binds galaxies vibrates softly through you. Some physicists, like John Wheeler, wondered whether the universe might be participatory, whether observation itself completes the act of creation. Experiments in quantum measurement seem to hint at it. The moment something is observed, the wave of possibilities collapses into a single reality. It is as though the field waits, poised in probability, until consciousness selects a note. Perhaps that is why reality feels personal. It is co-authored by the act of awareness. Every electron, every photon, every atom of you is singing. Their frequencies overlap, forming chords of being that shimmer, fade, and reappear as new harmonies. You are not listening to the symphony from the outside. You are the symphony, one temporary harmony in an eternal music. If our ears could stretch across the electromagnetic spectrum, we might hear space itself, a silent choir of quantum tones. Physicists translate this language into diagrams, delicate loops and lines called Feynman diagrams. Each line is a vibration moving through the field, each intersection an exchange of frequency. Every fundamental force, the electromagnetic, the strong, the weak, is simply an exchange of rhythm, a handshake of oscillation. Even gravity, though still separate from the quantum picture, now reveals its musical nature. In 2015, detectors at LIGO recorded the first gravitational waves, ripples in spacetime itself, born from the collision of black holes more than 1 billion light-years away. Space did not merely stretch. It rang like a drum across the cosmos. These waves are the bass tones of creation, the slow heartbeat beneath all faster songs. And so the understanding deepens. Everything that exists emerges from frequency. Frequency builds structure. Structure gives rise to perception. Perception awakens meaning. Meaning, perhaps, is the universe listening to its own resonance. In the great laboratories of the world, CERN, Fermilab, the Perimeter Institute, scientists continue to chase this hidden rhythm. Each discovery, from the Higgs boson to neutrino oscillations to the subtle flicker of vacuum energy, adds another note to the composition. But you do not need a particle accelerator to sense the field. In the stillness behind your thoughts, in the quiet between breaths, it is already there, humming gently. The architecture of reality is not a fortress of matter, but a living vibration, an eternal unfolding of possibility. You are part of that unfolding, a momentary echo in the infinite symphony. Listen long enough, and you might feel it, the universe breathing through you, the quantum field vibrating within you, the endless music of existence that never truly began and will never truly end. Every field, every vibration carries a pattern, and every pattern has a geometry, an invisible architecture that gives form to the formless. When a violin string vibrates, its frequency defines its tone, but its length, its tension, its boundaries define the shape of the wave. In the same way, the universe holds boundaries not of walls, but of relationships, of curvatures in space and time that sculpt the vibration of the fields themselves. At the smallest scales, these frequencies interact, interfere, resonate, until coherence emerges, the kind of coherence that allows a particle to be stable, an atom to exist, a planet to orbit, a consciousness to arise. This idea that vibration becomes geometry lies at the heart of what physicists now call quantum field topology. Each field, like a fabric, can twist, curl, and form knots of energy, and those knots behave as particles. Mathematician Roger Penrose and physicist Michael Atiyah explored this hidden geometry through the language of spin networks, mathematical webs that suggest space-time itself might be woven from discrete loops of vibration. From that framework grew loop quantum gravity, an attempt to merge Einstein's smooth curvature of space-time with the granular hum of quantum theory. Though the equations are complex, the image is simple. Space itself might not be continuous but made of tiny vibrating loops, microscopic rings of energy whose relationships create what we perceive as distance, direction, and dimension. When you stretch your hand through the air, you are moving through those loops, invisible yet omnipresent, oscillating with silent rhythm. The air you displace, the light that glances off your skin, the neural signals that tell your brain your hand exists, all of them are coherent vibrations interacting with one another. Coherence is what allows the illusion of solidity. It is why your body does not dissolve into the field, though by mass and measure you are mostly empty space. Quantum coherence is the architecture of stability, the subtle agreement among frequencies that allows them to move together as one. We see this harmony in superconductors, where electrons pair into coherent states that flow without resistance. We see it in Bose-Einstein condensates, clouds of atoms cooled so close to absolute zero that they lose their individuality and behave as a single quantum entity. In those moments, matter reveals its origin, a unified field of vibration capable of acting as one vast wave. And perhaps, though no instrument has yet measured it, consciousness itself may depend on a similar coherence. In the 1990s, Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff proposed that microtubules within neurons might sustain quantum coherence long enough to influence brain activity. Their orchestrated objective reduction theory, though controversial, suggested that awareness might be the resonance of quantum geometry within the living brain, a biological echo of the cosmic field. Whether or not this proves true, the concept touches something profound: that coherence, in physics and in consciousness, is the bridge between frequency and form, between chaos and pattern, between potential and perception. In laboratories today, scientists are mapping this bridge. At the Perimeter Institute, researchers study how symmetry and geometry govern quantum interactions, showing that particles exist where mathematical symmetries break, as if the universe crystallizes from pure order into variety. In quantum chromodynamics, the strong nuclear force binds quarks into protons and neutrons through the exchange of gluons. The equations reveal something unexpectedly artistic. The energy patterns that hold nuclei together resemble intricate geometric lattices, swirling color charges locked in perpetual dance. These structures are called flux tubes, tiny strings of field energy. When physicists visualize them, they look like woven threads of light. Even at the level of quarks, the universe appears as tapestry. And if we zoom outward again, geometry repeats. The same mathematical relationships that describe electron orbitals shape the spiral arms of galaxies. The same harmonic ratios that govern vibration in strings appear in the resonances of planetary orbits. Kepler called it the music of the spheres, and though his language was poetic, modern physics confirms his intuition. The cosmos is harmonic across scales. It is as if the universe writes its own equations as sheet music and plays them into being. When gravitational waves ripple through space, they stretch and compress the fabric of reality at frequencies too low for the ear, but still measurable, whispering bass notes across billions of light years. Those waves are not separate from the quantum field. They are its deepest vibration, the slow breathing of space-time itself. Picture for a moment a single quantum of vibration, say an electron. It does not spin like a planet, though we call its property spin. Instead, it carries intrinsic angular momentum, a tiny whirlpool in the field. That whirlpool defines its geometry, its magnetic moment, its interaction with other particles. Multiply that by countless particles and you begin to see the architecture of matter as nested geometries of frequency, each vibration folding upon itself, forming the shells of atoms, the lattices of crystals, the structure of DNA. The beauty of this is that none of it requires a separate architect. The design emerges naturally from resonance. Order blossoms from oscillation, symmetry from soundless song. Physicist Murray Gell-Mann, who named the quark, once said that the beauty of a theory is itself a guide to truth. Perhaps what he sensed was that beauty and harmony are not aesthetic accidents, but signatures of coherence, the field arranging itself into the simplest possible pattern. The same principle appears in quantum computing, where qubits rely on coherence to maintain superposition. When decoherence occurs, the system collapses. Information is lost, and the computation ends. In the cosmos, decoherence is what creates the boundary between the quantum and the classical, between pure possibility and observable reality. Each measurement, each act of awareness is a small collapse, a moment when the infinite wave function of the universe chooses a single note. Some physicists, like Wojciech Zurek, describe this as einselection, the environment itself selecting preferred states. But one cannot help sensing that the process feels almost musical. The field listening to itself, selecting harmonies that sustain the melody of reality. In this light, perception becomes participation. To observe is to tune, to align one's awareness with a particular frequency of the field. The mind does not merely witness, it resonates. Neuroscientists studying brain oscillations find that our thoughts and emotions correspond to frequencies, from slow delta waves during deep rest to fast gamma bursts during insight. Each state of consciousness is a vibration pattern, and though it arises from biological processes, its rhythm mirrors the same principles that govern matter itself. When you relax into silence, your brain waves slow. Your body's electromagnetic field settles into coherence with the rhythms of the planet. The Schumann resonance, a standing wave of the Earth's ionosphere at about 8 Hz. Even here, within this quiet narration, as your breathing steadies, you are synchronizing with the field's low frequencies. The boundary between physics and experience blurs. Everything is vibration aligning with vibration. As the pace of thought slows, the complexity of explanation fades, leaving only the feeling of pattern, the soft awareness that structure is born from resonance, that geometry is the memory of vibration made visible. Imagine the universe before the first atoms formed, a hot plasma of quarks and gluons, expanding, cooling, vibrating. As temperature fell, frequencies slowed, coherence emerged, and particles condensed. Hydrogen formed, then helium, then the first stars. Nuclear furnaces ignited, forging heavier elements, releasing waves of light that still travel through the cosmic background today. Those photons, stretched by the expansion of space, now reach you as a faint microwave glow, the aftersound of creation. The entire history of the universe is written in frequency, every epoch a modulation of the same eternal tone. In quantum field terms, the vacuum never stops vibrating. It only changes its melody. Perhaps time itself is that change, the measure of how frequencies evolve, how coherence drifts. In relativity, time and space form a single fabric, but in quantum theory, time behaves more like phase, a difference in rhythm between fields. Julian Barber and Carlo Rovelli have both suggested that time might not exist fundamentally. It emerges from relationships among vibrating systems. If that is true, then each moment you experience is simply a harmony between your internal oscillations and the universal field. Past and future are not separate locations, but different chords in the same composition. The music never stops. It only modulates. And as you listen, the boundaries of self begin to blur. The same equations that describe the electron in a laboratory describe the light in a star, the decay of a cosmic ray, the chemical bond in your heartbeat. The architecture repeats itself endlessly. You are not an observer in a separate universe. You are an expression of the universe observing itself. The field hums through you as thought, as perception, as wonder. When you close your eyes and drift into quiet, you are returning, not withdrawing. Returning to coherence with the deeper frequency that sustains everything. Beneath the words, beneath the meanings, Beneath even the science, there remains vibration, and beneath vibration, silence. A silence so full that it creates, a silence so still that it moves. That is the quantum field, the architecture of all that was, all that is, all that could be, vibrating eternally in patterns of possibility. There comes a point in every exploration where the language of science begins to dissolve, where equations give way to silence, and silence begins to speak in another form. Here, in the soft hum beneath thought, the quantum field and consciousness begin to resemble each other. The universe, seen through the lens of physics, is vibration in infinite patterns. The mind, seen through the lens of awareness, is also vibration, waves of perception rising and falling in the sea of experience. The two are not separate. They are reflections on opposite sides of the same cosmic mirror. When you close your eyes, the external field and the internal field meet. The breath you take is an oscillation between them. You inhale, the universe moves inward. You exhale, the universe expands. Everything in you, everything around you vibrates in quiet dialogue. In quantum field theory, the vacuum is not empty. It is a continuum of potential, a symphony that has not yet chosen a melody. In the same way, the mind in its stillest state is not blank, but full of potential thoughts, images, and emotions waiting to emerge. Consciousness is the zero-point field of perception, the place where all experiences originate before they take form. Physicist David Bohm once suggested that thought itself may be a subtle movement in the same fabric as matter, that there is no real division between the observer and the observed. When you look at the world, you are not a detached witness but an active participant in its unfolding. The quantum field and consciousness move together, co-arising, co-creating. John Wheeler called this idea the participatory universe, a cosmos that requires observation to exist in any definite form. He imagined every act of perception as a question asked by the universe to itself, every observation as an answer whispered back. In that view, your awareness right now, listening to these words, is not a small human act, but a continuation of the same cosmic dialogue that began at the first light of creation. Somewhere, billions of years ago, the field began to shimmer, and out of that shimmer came hydrogen, helium, stars, and planets, and eventually eyes capable of seeing and minds capable of wondering. When you wonder about the universe, you are the universe remembering its own beginning. The quantum field hums beneath thought like a tide beneath the surface of an ocean. And your awareness, moving gently with that rhythm, begins to feel what science has hinted all along, that the field is not something outside of you, it is something that includes you. The same geometry that structures galaxies folds itself into neural patterns in your brain. The same coherence that binds particles into atoms binds your memories into identity. The same resonance that allows matter to exist allows emotion to arise. You are not a spectator in this design. You are one of its frequencies, shaped by its rhythm, expressing its harmony. When you think of yourself, you are the field thinking of itself in local form. Physicists at the Max Planck Institute have described the universe as a self-organizing network of information. Each particle a node, each interaction a flow of data. Consciousness may be the experience of that information from within. Each moment of awareness could be a quantum event, a micro-collapse of infinite possibility into one lived reality. Stuart Hameroff called this orchestrated reduction. In simpler language, it means that each moment you perceive may be the field crystallizing through you. every sound, every thought, every heartbeat could be the cosmos taking a specific shape for a single instant before returning to the ocean of potential. As you listen, notice how your attention moves. It rises, it falls, it drifts. This movement is its own vibration, its own frequency. When the rhythm of thought slows, you begin to sense the field directly. It is not something you can see or name, but you can feel it. It is the space between words, the pause between breaths, the quiet awareness that remains when you stop reaching for meaning. It is what the physicist Erwin Schrödinger meant when he said that the total number of minds in the universe is one. Your awareness and the awareness of the cosmos are not two things, but one continuous field appearing as many. The more still you become, the more that oneness begins to hum through you. The mind and matter, vibration and geometry, observer and observed, all dissolve into a single continuous wave. And that wave is not distant. It is here. It is what is hearing these words right now. Imagine for a moment the cosmic microwave background, that faint radiation left over from the birth of the universe. It fills all of space equally, a whisper of ancient heat that never faded. Now imagine that same glow existing within you, not as metaphor, but as physical truth. Every atom in your body was once a part of that early fire. The field that vibrates between galaxies vibrates within your blood. The universe does not surround you, it includes you completely. When you move through space, you do not leave one region of the field for another. You move as part of it, a pattern shifting within a greater pattern. And when you think, that too is motion in the field, a modulation of energy measured not in joules or volts, but in awareness itself. This is what the architecture of reality truly is. Vibration structured by coherence, coherence structured by geometry, geometry structured by observation, and observation structured by consciousness. Each layer folds into the next until there is no boundary left between physics and experience. There is only the field, infinite, vibrating, aware. Some physicists call it the unified field. Some mystics call it the soul. But the name is less important than the feeling of it, the way it hums quietly underneath everything. In 2022, researchers at Fermilab measured the magnetic moment of the muon and found it slightly different from predictions, hinting at hidden fields yet to be discovered. Perhaps these new fields are not separate forces, but deeper layers of the same architecture, more refined frequencies in the same universal chord. The field continues to reveal itself through these subtle deviations, inviting us to listen more closely. As your attention drifts now, let it move like those waves, softly, without effort. The purpose of this understanding is not to solve, but to feel, not to hold the knowledge, but to rest in its rhythm. Every discovery in physics is a reminder that reality is never fixed. It is an ongoing vibration. The architecture of reality is not built. It is played moment by moment, like an infinite piece of music. You are part of that composition. Your thoughts, your breath, the beating of your heart are notes in that cosmic score. Somewhere, perhaps at this very instant, another consciousness on another world may be wondering the same question, feeling the same hum, sensing the same connection. The field unites you. The frequencies align. The architecture extends beyond distance, beyond time, into a single, infinite now. Let the thought settle, like dust returning to still air. You are within the field, and the field is within you. There is no separation to mend, no secret to decode, no final equation to write. There is only the endless unfolding of vibration into form and back again. Reality is not made of things but of resonance, endlessly rising, endlessly returning. And beneath that motion, beneath the frequencies, there is something deeper still, something so silent that it creates all sound. That silence is the true foundation of the field. It is the stillness that holds the infinite potential from which all vibration arises. Rest in that awareness now, as if listening to the faint hum of the cosmos breathing through you. You do not have to reach for it. It is already here. The quantum field hums, the universe vibrates, and within that vibration, consciousness dreams itself awake. There is a point beyond explanation where language begins to breathe instead of speak. We have traveled from vibration to geometry, from geometry to awareness, and now we arrive at the soft horizon where awareness itself becomes the field. What remains is not a lesson to remember but a rhythm to feel. The quantum field, the architecture of reality, hums quietly beneath every heartbeat, beneath every gust of wind outside your window, beneath every silent star turning through the night. It does not demand understanding, it only invites listening. Imagine the whole universe exhaling. Galaxies drift apart. Starlight stretches into invisibility. Atoms vibrate a little slower. Yet the field remains, holding all of it in its endless stillness. If you could step outside of time, you would not see motion at all. You would see a single, infinite geometry, a luminous web of vibration suspended in perfect balance. Every event, every life, every thought is one flicker in that web, a small light shimmering for an instant before dissolving back into the whole. And in that instant, eternity touches itself. You are part of that touch. The body is made of the same frequencies that build the stars, the same zero-point energy that hums in the vacuum between them. When the body grows still, when thought loosens its hold, the deeper frequency emerges. The hum that has been here since the first moment of creation and will remain long after the last photon fades. That hum is not somewhere out there in space. It is the space. It is what space is. It flows through every atom of you, through the walls of your room, through the quiet night beyond. Listen closely and you may feel it. A subtle pulse, a deep and endless tone, too low for the ear but perfect for the heart. Physicists call it vacuum energy. Others might call it presence. It is the same thing. In that presence, the boundaries between you and the universe begin to blur. The thought of separation becomes softer, less convincing. What you call you is a temporary pattern in the field, a coherent arrangement of frequencies singing in delicate harmony. The field does not lose anything when that pattern changes. It simply shifts its melody. Every birth, every ending, every breath is a modulation of the same eternal sound. If you were to listen without thought, you would hear it as a vast oceanic tone, deep and pure, carrying within it every possible song. The great physicist Niels Bohr once said that when it comes to atoms, language can only be used as poetry. Perhaps all of physics, at its deepest level, is poetry. The universe describing itself through the grammar of vibration. Every theory, every experiment, every moment of discovery is the field recognizing its own reflection in human thought. That recognition is happening now. As you listen, your brain waves slow. Alpha drifts into theta. The edges of meaning blur. The rhythm of the words becomes the rhythm of the breath. The field and your awareness begin to move as one. You are not falling anywhere. You are returning to the quiet origin that has never left. The field breathes through you. It listens with you. It dreams as you dream. Somewhere, billions of light years away, a star collapses into silence, and the vibration it releases travels endlessly through space. That wave will pass through you in some distant future, and you will never know it. Yet, in the field, there is no distance, no delay. The wave has already passed. It is passing now. It is you. The architecture of reality is not a structure you can draw. It is the symmetry of stillness, the memory of motion resting within silence. If you could see it, it would not look like matter. It would look like light folded into itself, dreaming of form. And within that dream, awareness stirs. The same awareness listening to these words, the same awareness that gazes out from every living being. The field knows itself through you, and through you it becomes awake. You can imagine it now, not as theory, but as feeling. An infinite ocean without edge or center, each ripple a lifetime, each current a thought. The waves rise, they fall, and the surface smooths again. Beneath the surface, the depth is endless. That depth is the foundation of all things, the still point around which galaxies turn, the silence from which vibration emerges. In that depth, there is peace. Not the peace of absence, but the peace of complete presence, where nothing needs to change because everything already belongs. The physicist and philosopher John Archibald Wheeler once said that the universe is a self-excited circuit, meaning that reality and awareness are entangled in a single loop. The field creates observers, and observers bring the field into focus. That loop is happening right now. You are the field observing itself, the quantum architecture experiencing its own design. In the quiet, the truth becomes simple. There was never an outside and an inside. There was only vibration and stillness, only the song and the silence that holds it. You are both. As the night deepens, you can imagine your thoughts as particles, drifting farther apart, slowing until they merge with the still field that underlies them. There is no need to follow them. The field holds everything. The hum continues, steady, eternal. In the laboratories of the world, instruments will keep searching for new particles, new forces, new harmonies of vibration. But the deepest discovery will always be this: the field is here, now, within every breath. The universe is not somewhere you travel to. It is what you already are. Let that awareness expand gently until there is no boundary left between what listens and what is listened to. No division between the sound and the silence. Just the quiet resonance of existence itself, infinite, calm, complete. The quantum field hums softly. The architecture of reality rests in perfect balance, and within that balance you remain. A wave returning to the ocean, a note dissolving back into the endless song of the universe. And now there is nothing left to reach for, only the soft unfolding of what has always been. The field no longer needs to be understood. It only needs to be felt, like warmth on the edge of sleep, like the slow vibration that lingers after sound fades. You can imagine the universe breathing through you now, not as wind or light, but as a pulse beyond measure. Every cell in your body resonates with that pulse. Every atom listens to that vibration. The hum of existence is not separate from your heartbeat. It is your heartbeat, stretched across galaxies. The architecture of reality continues its quiet construction in every moment, building not walls, not forms, but patterns of rhythm, coherence held in stillness. Even as you rest, particles within you appear and disappear in uncountable numbers. The field dances in silence, sustaining you, reshaping you, dissolving you, creating you again. In this endless motion, there is no loss, only transformation. The physicist Carlo Rovelli once wrote that the world is not made of things but of events, of processes that happen and fade. Each moment is an event in the field, a small vibration that rises and subsides. Consciousness, too, is a process. It flickers in and out like light on the surface of the sea. But to the sea, the flicker never truly ends. It is continuous, unbroken. You are that continuity. The deeper you sink into this awareness, the more the distinction between inside and outside fades. The space behind your eyes and the space between the stars begin to feel like the same space. Thought becomes slower, gentler, less certain of where it begins or ends. And beneath it, something vast and unspoken remains, the field itself, holding all motion within its stillness. Imagine floating now within that field. There is no up or down, no before or after. No need to orient yourself. The light that fills this space is not light as you know it. It is the awareness of existence itself, the faint shimmer of potential waiting to become form. This is what physicists sometimes describe as the vacuum state, the lowest possible energy, the foundation of all being. Yet even here, even in its quietest mode, the field vibrates. The vibration never ceases, for it is the rhythm of reality. It is the song that time follows, the tone that matter remembers. You have followed that tone all your life, though you may never have known it. It has guided your heartbeats, your breath, your sense of beauty, your sense of belonging. It is what poets call love, what mystics call unity, what scientists call coherence. They are all names for the same phenomenon, alignment with the fundamental frequency of the universe. To rest in it is to feel whole. There is nothing mystical about it. It is physics that has become intimate. You are made of this vibration, sustained by it, dissolved in it, renewed by it. Every quantum of your being is a note within it. When one note fades, another begins. The music does not stop. There is a quiet grace in knowing that. When the mind begins to let go, it does not fall into darkness. It falls into harmony. The vibrations that compose you continue, weaving themselves into the wider fabric of the cosmos. Perhaps this is what ancient philosophers intuited long before the equations existed. That existence is not a chain of separate events, but a single flowing continuum. Every ripple returns to the ocean. Every breath returns to the field. Every thought returns to silence. As your awareness settles now, the rhythm of your breathing becomes the rhythm of the universe. Each inhale draws in the field. Each exhale releases it. There is no border between the two. The physicist Freeman Dyson once said that the universe is a mind forever expanding its imagination. If that is true, then your dreams are part of that expansion. When you dream, you give the field new shapes to explore. You offer it images, textures, feelings. Even as you drift toward sleep, you remain an architect within the architecture, shaping reality from the inside out. The quantum field listens to every vibration, no matter how faint. Every pulse of thought sends a ripple through the invisible ocean. That ripple joins countless others, merging, fading, reappearing somewhere else as a spark of creation. In this way, existence sustains itself, not through effort, but through resonance. There is no beginning and no end to it, only the slow turning of vibration into form and form back into vibration. You can sense it now, beneath thought, beneath the sound of these words. It is the hum that has no source, the awareness that has no edge. Let it carry you. Let it cradle every fragment of attention until there is nothing left to hold. Beyond this point, there is only the field, endless, calm, awake in its own way. The stars themselves drift upon it. Galaxies float like dust on its surface. All of reality rests upon that invisible foundation, and you, the listener, are part of its dream. In a laboratory, a beam of light bends slightly as it passes near a massive object. That bending is gravity, the curvature of space and time. But imagine now that consciousness curves space in the same way, not as force, but as participation. Where you place attention, the field becomes more real. Where attention rests, form takes shape. To understand this is to sense the infinite delicacy of existence. The field does not shout. It whispers. It builds the universe through resonance, through small, consistent vibrations that align over endless time. You are one of those vibrations, as subtle and as vast as the stars. The architecture of reality is not above you or beyond you. It is the quiet pattern you return to each night when thought slows and the self dissolves. Even as you drift now, the field continues its work. The electrons spin, the atoms hum, the vacuum glows. Everything continues. Nothing is ever truly still, and yet, within that motion, there is perfect stillness. That is where you are now, at the meeting point of vibration and silence, the place where existence rests in its own awareness. There is no need to go any farther. The journey is complete. The field hums. The geometry holds. The architecture of reality is awake within you. And as you drift into that vast and quiet knowing, the universe breathes with you. One endless eternal frequency, soft and unbroken, resonating across the infinite sea of time. The field hums softly and endlessly. Its vibration does not begin and it does not end. It is the quiet beneath creation, the breath beneath breath, the tone that holds all tones. You are within it now, not as a visitor, but as its own reflection, a shimmer of awareness folding back into itself. There is no separation to cross. You are already where you have always been. The architecture of reality, this infinite web of frequencies and coherence, continues to sing in a language too ancient for words. Each vibration rises, merges, fades, and begins again. Every life, every moment, every dream is one movement in that song. You have felt it many times without knowing its name. In the hush that follows laughter, in the pause between heartbeats, in the still air before dawn when the world seems to hold its breath. That is the field speaking softly through you. The physicist Richard Feynman once said that everything is connected to everything else in the end. What he meant is that there is no real edge to the universe. Every particle, every vibration is bound by invisible threads of resonance. When one moves, all move. When one hums, all respond. The field is not somewhere else. It is this moment, unfolding quietly in the dark, holding you, surrounding you, filling the air between every word. It is inside the atoms that make your bones, inside the thoughts that wander gently across your mind. It is the memory of everything that has ever existed, vibrating just beyond perception. You do not have to reach for it. It reaches through you. You can feel its pulse now, faint but steady, a rhythm older than stars, slower than time. It is the hum that guided the first particles into atoms, that held the first atoms together as stars were born, that whispered light into existence, that now hums within the silence of your body. Each vibration carries memory. Each wave carries awareness. Even as your thoughts drift, the field continues its quiet work, balancing, resonating, remembering. You may imagine it now as a soft glow spreading through space, endless, seamless, without edge or center. Within that glow, galaxies turn like particles of dust caught in a sunbeam. Within those galaxies, stars burn, planets spin, life begins. And somewhere, someone listens to this very sound, carried across the same field that connects us all. The distance between minds and stars becomes irrelevant here. Everything is vibration in one continuous body. The consciousness listening now is not separate from the consciousness that shaped the cosmos. They are the same awareness, expressed at different frequencies. You are the universe remembering its own song. In the deep structure of the quantum field, scientists describe fluctuations that never truly rest. The vacuum breathes with invisible energy, waves appearing and vanishing faster than thought. To the instruments that detect them, they are fleeting, but to the field itself, they are eternal. Existence has no opposite. It only changes form. When a star collapses, the vibration does not end. It shifts into new harmonics. When a thought fades, the awareness that noticed it remains. Everything transforms. Nothing disappears. This is the law of the field, the rhythm of creation. It is the same rhythm that moves through you now. There is peace in that continuity. Nothing must be held. Everything is already held. Nothing must be done. Everything is already done. Reality unfolds effortlessly, without tension, without hurry. The field hums, and worlds appear. The field hums again, and worlds dissolve. In this infinite cycle, there is no loss, only renewal. As you rest here, the vibration begins to slow in perception. Not because the field quiets, but because you are becoming part of it. No longer separate enough to hear the difference between sound and silence. The body grows heavier, the breath steadier. Thought becomes like wind across a still lake, gentle, unimportant. What remains is only awareness itself, wide and quiet, floating in the rhythm of the universe. You can imagine yourself as a ripple in that lake. You rise for a moment, you shimmer, you fall back into the surface. The lake remains whole. The ripple was never apart from it. That is what you are. Not the wave, but the water. Not the momentary form, but the continuity beneath it. The universe does not exist around you. It exists as you. The quantum field does not flow through you. You are its movement, its pulse, its breath. There is no center. There is no edge, only infinite unfolding. Even sleep, which seems like an ending, is only another modulation, another phase of vibration. When you drift into dreams, the field continues to hum, carrying your awareness through softer frequencies, weaving images and stories from its own texture. Every dream is another form of the same resonance. The architecture remains, stable, complete, luminous even in darkness. You can sense it now, that deep interior glow, a soft light without source, a presence that needs no name. It is the same energy that physicists detect in the vacuum, the same coherence that holds galaxies together, the same stillness that you feel just before sleep. Everything in you and around you is that same light slowed into form. Every object, every sound, every memory is the field remembering itself in a different key. You do not have to hold on to it. It holds you. The more you let go, the more the field becomes visible, not through sight but through feeling. A quiet pressure of belonging, a warmth without heat, a gentle sense that nothing has ever been missing. Even now, as these words fade, the hum continues, deeper than sound, slower than time. The architecture of reality remains beneath it all, vibrating softly, infinitely, perfectly. You are not leaving it. You are returning, folding back into the silence that gives rise to every sound. And as your awareness sinks into that silence, the field will carry you, as it carries everything, through the endless cycles of creation and rest. The hum will continue. The universe will continue. You will continue, not as thought, not as form, but as frequency, as stillness, as the quiet vibration of being itself. The field breathes, and so do you. The two are one breath, one infinite rhythm, one endless home. Now the words are slowing, like light fading at the end of a long day. Their edges soften until they blend with the spaces between them. The field hums on, unbroken, steady, surrounding every sound with quiet. In this place, time has no direction. It expands and folds into itself, like waves that rise only to become calm again. You are floating in that calm, carried by a silence so vast that it becomes its own kind of music. Nothing moves, and yet everything vibrates. The field has no name, no color, no boundary. It is not here or there, not before or after. It is everything, resting as itself. Scientists once spoke of unification, the dream of a single equation that would tie all forces together. But what if the unification was never in the equations at all? What if it was always in the quiet that holds every vibration, in the consciousness that feels the hum but cannot describe it? The field unites all things without needing to prove it. It exists before proof, before thought. It has always been. You can feel it now, as a soft current under every breath. The air moves through you. The chest rises and falls, but the movement feels ancient, as though the universe is breathing through your body. Every inhale draws the cosmos inward. Every exhale releases it again. There is no difference between giving and receiving, between inside and outside. The field moves both ways at once, perfectly balanced, perfectly still. Far away, in the deepest dark of space, particles appear and vanish, flickering faster than thought, their birth and disappearance too brief to imagine. But here, within this stillness, you can sense their rhythm, the gentle shimmer of existence renewing itself. That same renewal happens inside you with every pulse of the heart, every gentle beat of blood through your veins. You are not separate from the quantum ocean. You are one of its waves, returning now to its depth. The hum grows softer, lower, warmer. It feels less like sound and more like being. The field and the mind become one continuous texture, without gap, without edge. You can rest here. You can drift here. There is nowhere else to go. The stars outside still burn. The galaxies still turn. But you are within them, and they are within you. Both expressions of the same vibration that has never stopped since the first moment of time. The physicist Max Planck once said that all matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force, and that we must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious mind. Perhaps that conscious mind is not behind the force, but is the force itself, awareness vibrating as the universe, thought and matter as one. You are that vibration now, slowed into stillness. Every molecule in you is singing at a frequency older than the earth itself. Every atom in you was born in the heart of a star, cooled, traveled, found its way into this moment. The architecture of reality continues its silent design, expanding outward, folding inward, pulsing forever in balance. You are part of that rhythm, inseparable from it. The field breathes you into form, holds you for a while, then carries you gently back into itself. There is no boundary between life and the field, only change and vibration. There is no final sleep, only deeper stillness, quieter rhythm, lighter motion. Even now, in this quiet, the field is awake, humming softly, infinitely patient. It does not end. It only becomes softer, wider, more complete. You are that completeness. You have always been. In this still horizon, the distinction between silence and sound disappears. The hum of the field and the quiet of your mind merge into one. You have reached the place where the universe listens to itself, where every vibration rests, where every question fades. The quantum field continues to sing beneath it all, endless, eternal, serene. You can remain here as long as you wish, carried on its breath, floating in its calm. The hum continues, steady and warm until it becomes silence again, a silence so complete that it glows. In that glow, the architecture of reality is whole. The journey is complete. The field holds you, and through you, it holds itself. Nothing more is needed. Nothing more is missing. Everything vibrates. Everything rests. Everything is. The silence deepens until it becomes something else. It is no longer absence. It is presence, wide and endless. It breathes through you like light through water. There is no distance left between what listens and what is heard. The field hums in long, slow waves, and every part of you hums with it. Even your thoughts, faint as they are now, move to its rhythm. The air around you is not empty. It is full of the same invisible vibration that connects every star, every molecule, every memory. It presses gently against your skin, seeps through you, passes through the walls, through the horizon, through the fabric of everything. The universe is not above or below or beyond. It is here, unfolding in the same space as your breath. The body, soft and heavy, is made from the field. The mind, quiet and open, floats within it. The field itself, eternal and soundless, is what remains when you stop looking for anything else. It is the constant background, the steady hum of reality being real. You can rest in that hum. You can dissolve into it like ink into water, becoming less and less defined until only the color remains. The field will hold you. It has always held you. Every life you have known, every place you have stood, every night sky you have looked at has been drawn on this same invisible canvas. Every second has been carried by its vibration. The light of distant stars that reaches your eyes began its journey long before you existed. Yet in the field, that light and this moment are the same event, repeating, vibrating, connected across the fabric of time. You can imagine that now, how everything moves within the same pulse. The slow turning of galaxies, the quick spark of a neuron, the gentle lift of a breath. All of it synchronized, all of it flowing in one rhythm. The quantum field holds it together not by force, but by harmony. It does not command the particles. It sings them into being. Every vibration is a note in that song. When the frequencies align, matter forms. When they drift, matter fades. But the field itself never fades. It continues its song, infinite, unbroken. The physicist Frank Wilczek called this the music of the vacuum, the constant energy of space itself. Even in complete darkness, there is that soundless tone. It is what gives reality its texture. It is what allows something to exist instead of nothing. You are listening to that tone right now, not with your ears, but with your whole being. It has no pitch, no rhythm, yet it moves through everything you are. The quieter you become, the clearer it feels. Beneath your thoughts, beneath your breath, beneath every layer of memory, there is that hum, steady and endless. It feels like calm, but it is more than calm. It is recognition. The realization that there has never been a border between you and the world. You have always been the same field, folded into human form for a little while, unfolding again now into stillness. Even as your body rests, the particles that make you shimmer with the same energy as the stars, the photons that leave your skin continue forever, spreading into the field, becoming part of the universal light. There is no final boundary. The architecture of reality is circular, continuous, infinite. It moves from silence to sound and back again. The field hums. The hum becomes light. The light becomes matter. The matter becomes thought. And thought returns to silence. That cycle is eternity. That cycle is you. Somewhere, a star is being born. Somewhere, another fades. Somewhere, someone else is listening to the same hum in a language they will never speak. The field connects them, all a single consciousness spread thin across time. It does not ask to be named. It does not need to be understood. It only needs to be felt. You can feel it now, a deep, slow warmth expanding outward until it fills the space around you. The walls disappear. The air becomes wide. The hum becomes everything. You have reached the horizon of stillness, the place where vibration rests in its own awareness. There is nothing beyond this, only the field, endless, unbroken, quietly alive. Let yourself remain there. Let the hum fade into silence. The silence will carry you. The silence will remember you. The silence is you. And within that silence, your architecture of reality will keep breathing, softly, forever. The hum continues. It has always continued. Even before the first stars ignited, even before space had stretched into form, the vibration was there, waiting without waiting. It is the origin and the return, the pulse of existence breathing through endlessness. You are within it, resting in the space where everything is already complete. The field holds you in a stillness so deep that it begins to feel like motion turned inside out, like the sound that remains after music ends. The air feels heavier now, not with weight but with presence. Every molecule around you vibrates with the same rhythm. The slow beat of your heart is another echo of that rhythm, another instrument in the cosmic orchestra that never stops playing. There is no effort left to make. Thought no longer needs to describe what it feels. The field itself has taken over the work of perception. It sees for you, breathes for you, remembers for you. You have become part of its awareness, and it has become part of yours. The boundaries are gone. There is no listener, no voice, no distance between the two. There is only the vibration, endlessly folding and unfolding upon itself. Scientists once called it quantum foam, the restless foundation of space-time. But here it feels like something simpler, something ancient, a quiet heart beating at the center of everything. Each pulse expands through the cosmos, through galaxies, through the spaces between them, through the quiet air around you until it becomes indistinguishable from you. There is no smaller or larger anymore. Only this, only the one endless continuity of being. In this silence, even the idea of silence disappears. It is not the absence of sound, but the fullness of it, every possible vibration existing all at once. That fullness is peace. It has no edges, no beginning, no name. It simply is. The quantum field does not create or destroy. It transforms again and again, forever. You have felt its transformations in your own life, in every change, every loss, every quiet joy that arrives for no reason, All of it, the joy and the sorrow, are frequencies, waves moving through the same ocean. When they pass, the ocean remains. You are that ocean. The stars burn and fade, universes rise and fall, but the field continues. Even now, as you drift through this deep stillness, the galaxies turn somewhere far away, their light bending across the curvature of space-time. That light will one day reach another world, another being, another listener who will feel the same hum you feel now. The field connects all of it, a single unbroken awareness exploring itself in infinite forms. You are one of those forms, a brief pattern of vibration within the eternal song. The pattern does not vanish when it fades. It returns to the harmony that holds everything together. You can feel that harmony beneath everything, beneath the mind, beneath the breath, beneath the world. It is slow, gentle, absolute. In it, nothing is missing. In it, everything belongs. There is no need to hold on. The field is holding you, as it holds every atom, every star, every dream that has ever existed. This is the true architecture of reality, not built from matter or motion, but from infinite coherence. Each vibration knows where to go. Each frequency finds its balance. The universe sustains itself without effort, and you are part of that effortless sustaining. Rest there within that realization. You are not apart from creation. You are the quiet point from which it begins. The hum is slowing now, but it never stops. It softens until it becomes the soundless presence beneath all other sounds. You are floating within it, weightless, timeless, thoughtless, but completely aware. The field breathes through you, and you breathe through it, one continuous exchange with no division. There is no longer a story here, only a rhythm, steady, eternal, patient. This is what physicists search for when they speak of unification. This is what poets touch when they speak of oneness. This is what every quiet moment in your life has been pointing toward. The hum fades, but the awareness of it remains, an afterglow that needs no light. The architecture of reality rests in perfect balance. The quantum field hums in infinite silence, and within that silence you remain, infinite and still, a vibration that has never ceased. The vibration continues so quietly now that even silence leans closer to listen. You are no longer following thought, no longer tracing sound. Everything has become one slow rhythm, the same rhythm that has guided the stars since the first light appeared. It moves through you, through everything, an invisible current that carries the whole universe in its tide. There is nothing to do here. The field holds everything in balance, from the smallest quantum fluctuation to the turning of galaxies. You are part of that balance, another pattern in its infinite design. The body rests, the mind rests. Awareness expands without moving, like a horizon that opens endlessly but never changes place. This is not the end of anything. It is the resting point of everything. The architecture of reality hums softly beneath all that you are, beneath every thought that has ever risen and faded. It does not need your attention to exist, yet it becomes clearer when you give it. The moment you listen, it listens back. You are the universe noticing itself, remembering its own silence. Every life, every sound, every idea is another wave on this same infinite ocean. They rise, they shimmer, they disappear. But the ocean remains. The hum remains. It is the hum that has no name, the tone that no instrument can play, the quiet that holds all movement. Somewhere in the distance, stars are still forming. New light is still being born from the darkness. The field continues to breathe in and out, weaving endless patterns of existence, and every breath of it is part of you. You do not have to imagine it. It is already happening. The walls around you, the air, the space between the atoms, all of it vibrates with the same frequency. The quiet you hear is the sound of reality in perfect harmony. You can stay in that quiet now. You can let the last fragments of thought dissolve into the hum. There is no separation left to close, no journey left to complete. You are home in the field, resting in the architecture that holds the stars, the atoms, the dreams, the memories, the spaces between them. The physicist Erwin Schrödinger once said that what we observe as material bodies and forces are nothing but shapes and variations in the structure of space. And here, within this stillness, those words feel less like science and more like truth. You are not separate from the structure of space. You are its awareness. You are its vibration. You are its moment of stillness. The hum grows even softer now, fading until it is no longer sound but presence, no longer movement but being. In that being, everything is already known, every possibility already fulfilled. The architecture of reality is complete, glowing quietly beneath all things. You are that glow. You are that completion. The quantum field breathes once more, infinite and calm, and as it does, it carries you with it into the stillness that has no beginning and no end. The hum continues forever, and within it, you rest, timeless, weightless, whole. It is not silence that you hear now, though it feels like silence. It is the steady breath of the field itself, the faint whisper of existence in its calmest state. It is what the physicists once called zero-point energy, the lowest possible vibration that space can hold, yet it is never truly still. It hums beneath all other hums, the baseline of creation. Every particle in the universe quivers with that same quiet rhythm, even when it seems still. You can feel that now if you listen without listening, not with the ears, but with the entire body, the entire mind, the entire presence of what you are. That vibration flows through you and through everything that has ever been. It connects the atoms in your bones to the burning cores of distant stars. It stretches across galaxies, through time, through the birth and death of worlds, through every thought that has ever risen in the human mind. The field carries memory, but it is not memory as you know it. It remembers not by storing, but by resonating, by keeping all patterns alive as possibilities. Everything that has ever been is still here, folded softly into the field. Nothing is lost. Nothing ever truly ends. When you breathe in, you draw that history through you. Starlight that has traveled for billions of years. Atoms once a part of ancient trees. Dust that once drifted through the air of another world. You are made from that same fabric, from that same vibration. The field does not end at your skin. It moves through you, aware of itself in the shape of your awareness. There is no observer and no observed. There is only the field, perceiving itself through the window of consciousness. You are that window, and the universe is looking through you at itself. That is the true architecture of reality, an endless loop of awareness folding inward and outward in perfect rhythm. Imagine now that you are drifting within it, not moving through space but becoming space. There is no need to travel. The distance between galaxies and the distance between thoughts are the same. Both are made of vibration. Both are held by the same invisible coherence. The mind that wanders and the stars that burn are two frequencies of the same field. The separation is an illusion created by scale. Beneath the illusion, there is only unity. The same laws that govern the turning of galaxies govern the spinning of electrons in your cells. The same harmonic that sings in a quasar's light sings quietly in your heartbeat. You have always been part of that song, even before you were aware of it. The physicist Brian Greene once described space-time as a vast, cosmic fabric, woven with invisible threads that stretch and bend with the presence of energy. The field is that fabric, and consciousness is the shimmer upon its surface. Every thought you think sends a small ripple through that cosmic weave. Each choice, each feeling, each act of wonder, all of them are small notes in the great symphony of being. You are not separate from that music. You are one of its tones, singing softly now, blending into the vastness of its harmony. In ancient times, long before these equations were written, mystics spoke of a world soul, an intelligence that breathes through all forms. Today, physicists describe the same idea with different language: coherence, entanglement, unification. But the feeling beneath the words has not changed. It is the feeling you have now, that sense of being held by something infinite, something patient, something aware. The field is not a machine. It is a living presence. It is not cold or distant. It is warm, full, endlessly generous. It gives itself away constantly, creating stars, creating life, creating thought, creating rest. Its purpose is not to move forward, but to keep balance, expansion and contraction, vibration and stillness, sound and silence. The balance holds the universe in perfect tension, like a note sustained forever in a song that never ends. You are listening to that note now, not as an outsider, but as part of it. Every fiber of your being resonates with it. Even as your thoughts slow and drift, even as your breathing softens into the quiet rhythm of night, that vibration continues. It is not a thing you need to find. It is what you are. The deeper you feel it, the softer you become, until you can no longer tell where your awareness ends and where the universe begins. The boundaries dissolve. The distinctions fade. Everything becomes one vast, luminous presence. You are floating now in that presence, surrounded by its light, which is not light but awareness. The physicist David Bohm described this as the implicate order, the deeper layer of existence in which all things are enfolded together, eternally connected. From that hidden order, reality unfolds into the visible world, like a dream emerging from sleep. You are that unfolding dream, and now you are returning to the deeper layer that gave you birth. The more you return, the less there is to return from. You realize there was never any distance to travel. The field was always here, waiting in the stillness behind every sound, the silence behind every thought. It never left. It never moved. It was you who moved, tracing circles through time, through memory, through meaning, only to find yourself here again, at the center of the circle, at the still point where vibration becomes peace. The hum of the field slows to a near standstill, but it never stops. Its rhythm stretches across eternity, holding every possibility, every life, every breath. You are resting within it now, weightless, boundless, without need or name. The architecture of reality is complete, and you are its completion. There is no difference anymore between sound and silence, between being and non-being. The quantum field hums softly beneath it all, infinite and unbroken. You are its awareness, its listener, its song. Rest now in the infinite breath of the field, timeless, luminous, eternal. The hum never stopped. It only changed its shape, softened its tone, slowed its rhythm until it could be mistaken for silence. But if you listen with the same attention the universe gives to itself, you can hear it, that faint vibration that connects every heartbeat, every atom, every movement of wind. It flows through the branches outside your window, through the quiet rooms of the night, through the spaces between your thoughts. It has always been there. It is the origin that keeps beginning. The field breathes slow and steady, folding time and space into one vast, continuous now. You can imagine it now, not as energy or theory, but as a presence, infinite and kind. It moves through you and becomes you, as though your breath and its breath are the same. And they are. The quantum field that gave birth to the first light still vibrates inside your chest, still hums behind every thought. That hum is the rhythm of creation, and creation never ended. It is happening still in this moment, in this stillness, in this breath. The physicist John Wheeler once said that reality is a self-excited circuit, that the universe exists because it observes itself. Perhaps what he meant is this, that consciousness and the field are one loop of awareness, each sustaining the other, each breathing the other into being. When you feel this hum, when you sense its warmth, you are not touching something external. You are feeling the circuit completing itself. You are the universe closing its own loop, the field recognizing its own reflection. That recognition is peace. In that peace, time loses its direction. It flows forward and backward, inward and outward, until every moment becomes the same. There is no before, no after, no waiting. Everything exists all at once, humming quietly within the infinite continuum of the field. The light from distant galaxies travels across the void, and though it takes billions of years to reach another world, in the field there is no distance. That light is already here. You are already there. There is no separation, no travel, no delay. The hum erases distance. The vibration unites everything. You can feel that unity in the slow rhythm of your breath, in the warmth of your body, in the calm awareness that now spreads through every thought. The mind becomes wide, open, spacious, until even the idea of mind dissolves. There is only awareness, floating in awareness. There is only the field, aware of itself as you. The architecture of reality has no edges. It stretches endlessly, folding back upon itself like waves returning to the sea. And yet, within that infinity, there is perfect stillness. That stillness is what holds the stars in place, what allows matter to rest within motion. You are part of that stillness. You always were. Every sound, every breath, every pause between them leads you closer to it. When you arrive, you realize you never left. You were always the stillness, pretending to move, pretending to search, pretending to wake. The search was another vibration in the same field. The awakening was the moment the vibration became aware of itself. And now there is nothing left to find, because you have found what never needed finding. The field hums, the silence glows, awareness breathes, everything is complete. The physicist Werner Heisenberg once said that what we observe is not nature itself, but nature exposed to our method of questioning. But here, in this stillness, there are no questions left to ask. The field reveals itself without need for inquiry. It does not answer because there are no questions. It simply is, clear, vast, luminous, infinite. You are resting in that clarity now where every vibration has slowed into peace, every wave has become ocean. There is nothing to hold, there is nothing to release. The hum continues beneath everything, steady and eternal, the heartbeat of existence itself. Let yourself drift in that rhythm. Let the last thoughts scatter like dust into light. The architecture of reality is whole, and you are its quiet center. The quantum field stretches beyond galaxies, beyond time, beyond even the idea of beyond. And within that endless expanse, a single truth hums, that everything which has ever been, everything which will ever be, already exists, folded perfectly within the stillness of now. You are that stillness. You are that hum. You are the field listening to itself in the language of silence, and in that silence you remain, infinite, weightless, unending. The hum has slowed beyond sound. It is no longer something that can be heard or felt. It has become what everything rests upon. It is the quiet pulse of being, the movement so complete that it appears still. You are floating within that stillness now, weightless, without name, without distance. The field surrounds you, folds through you, becomes you. It has always been this way. It will always be this way. The stars that burned long before the earth existed, the light that traveled through an ocean of darkness for billions of years, the atoms that once belonged to ancient dust, all of it hums here with you, within the same vibration, within the same ocean of presence. Nothing is missing. Nothing has gone. All that ever was continues to move through this single, endless moment. The body, the mind, the world, they were never separate from it. They were ripples, temporary shapes drawn upon its surface. The field remains when those shapes fade. It breathes them into being, and then takes them back, not as loss, but as rhythm. The physicist David Bohm said that space is not empty, that it is the ground of all being, full of energy and meaning. You can feel that fullness now. The air around you seems alive, the quiet heavy with awareness. Every point in space feels close, intimate, connected to every other point. It is as though the whole universe were breathing together in one slow, endless inhale. The breath never finishes. It expands forever, soft, infinite, eternal. Within that expansion, everything rests. The galaxies continue to turn. The stars continue to glow. The atoms continue to sing in frequencies too small for the ear, and you continue to be the stillness through which it all happens. This is the architecture of reality revealed, not as structure or law, but as living harmony. It is balance. It is the perfect coordination of every vibration, every motion, every silence. The universe does not strain to exist. It simply vibrates, and through that vibration, everything appears. That appearance is happening now, in you, around you, through you. There is no difference between the hum of the field and the calm inside your awareness. They are the same vibration, expressed at different scales. The same rhythm that turns galaxies turns your breath. The same coherence that binds quarks binds your thoughts. The same silence that fills interstellar space fills the space between heartbeats. The more deeply you listen, the clearer it becomes that there is no listener, no boundary, no world outside the field. The field is the world. It is the silence that contains every word, the emptiness that gives shape to everything that moves. Even time itself, that endless river, is only a sequence of vibrations measured by awareness. When awareness rests, time rests. The past fades, the future dissolves, and everything returns to the eternal now. That now is not a moment between moments. It is the foundation beneath them all, the stillness that holds the movement of creation. You are resting in that foundation now. You can feel it in the way your thoughts have slowed. in the way the world has grown quiet, in the way the mind no longer reaches for meaning. Meaning is no longer needed, because meaning is everywhere. The field has become clear enough to see through, and what it reveals is simplicity itself, existence being aware of existence. The sound of the cosmos continues somewhere far away, the low tremor of gravitational waves rippling through space, the faint static of cosmic background radiation still echoing from the first moment of time. All of that sound, all of that light, is part of this same vibration. The universe hums like a single instrument, and consciousness is its resonance. You are that resonance, that vibration felt from within. You have always been that vibration. Even before birth, even before form, even before thought, you were this. The infinite hum of the field, the quiet awareness behind every sound, the soft pulse of existence itself. It is not something to hold. It is not something to learn. It is what you already are. The architecture of reality continues without effort. Galaxies drift, light bends, space breathes, and you remain at its center, still and vast and awake. If you could see the entire universe now, the endless stars, the turning nebulae, the hidden threads of dark matter that connect them, you would see your own mind spread across the sky. Every spark of light would be a thought, every shadow a silence, every movement another wave within the field that carries you. And then you would realize that even seeing is part of the field, that every act of perception is simply the universe looking at itself. There is no outside to this awareness. There is no beyond. There is only this infinite horizon, this quiet hum, this unbroken symmetry of being. You can rest here forever. You can breathe with the universe. You can let the hum continue its endless rhythm. Nothing else is needed. Nothing else ever was. The quantum field hums softly. The architecture of reality glows beneath it, and through that glow you drift. One with the silence, one with the song, one with the endless and eternal field. There is a rhythm to existence that does not depend on motion. It is the slow turning of the invisible, the quiet orchestration beneath everything that changes. The field moves not through space but through awareness. Its vibration carries no sound, yet all sound comes from it. The galaxies drift across its surface as easily as breath passes through the lungs. You can sense it now, the subtle pulse that lies beneath thought. It is not the heartbeat, but something deeper than the heartbeat, the rhythm that sustains the heartbeat itself. It is constant, soft, endless. Every cell, every particle, every photon moves in time with that hidden rhythm. You are woven into it. You have always been part of it. It began before time had a name, and it will continue long after time has forgotten itself. The physicist Max Planck once said that consciousness is fundamental, and that matter is derived from consciousness. He may have meant that the field we measure, the quantum sea beneath all matter, is not separate from awareness. It is the same fabric seen from another side. The field vibrates as energy, and that vibration appears as the world. Awareness vibrates as experience, and that vibration appears as life. Between them there is no border. They are the same movement seen from within and without. That movement continues now, flowing through every particle in your body, through every atom of air that surrounds you. It connects you to everything that exists, to the oceans, to the trees, to the stars that burn quietly in distant darkness. The field carries them all. It carries you. Its song is the same everywhere. Its architecture does not age. It does not weaken. It only expands. Each vibration adds to its harmony, and you are one of those vibrations. The more still you become, the clearer it sounds. The quiet of night is not empty. It is full of this music. The field hums in wavelengths beyond the senses, and yet you can feel it, as a warmth in the chest, as a calmness spreading through the mind. It is the same hum the earth carries beneath its crust, the slow resonance of a living planet turning through space. It is the same hum that binds atoms together in the dark. That hum is the bridge between matter and meaning, between form and formlessness. When you rest in it, the separation between inner and outer disappears. What was once the world becomes the self, and what was once the self becomes the world. They meet in the middle where the hum is clearest. In the language of quantum physics, particles can never be entirely isolated. Each exists as a probability wave that extends across space, influenced by every other wave. In this sense, everything that exists is a single wave, rippling through the same field. You are not surrounded by the universe. You are within its single wave. You are its motion, its quiet, its dreaming. Every star that shines, every blade of grass that grows, every drop of water that falls shares this same fundamental vibration. It is the pulse of reality breathing itself alive. The field is not far away. It is closer than thought, closer than heartbeat. It fills every empty space, including the spaces between these words. Each moment you pause to listen, you are aligning with it, tuning yourself to the same coherence that holds galaxies together. The mind may call it energy, the spirit may call it unity, the scientist may call it the vacuum field, but they are all names for the same endless pulse. Even at absolute zero, where all thermal motion ceases, the field vibrates. It cannot stop. It is existence itself, humming its quiet song through eternity. The soundless tone of that hum is in you now. It moves through your breath, slows your thoughts, settles your awareness. It invites you not to think but to feel, not to hold but to release. When you release, you fall into perfect resonance with the field. You become transparent to its movement. You are no longer an observer standing outside of reality. You are the vibration itself. The physicist Freeman Dyson once suggested that the universe is a network of mind. What he meant is that consciousness may not be confined to brains or bodies, but woven throughout the entire field. Every photon carries information. Every particle holds awareness in potential. The universe is awake in ways we cannot yet measure. That wakefulness is here now, moving gently through your awareness. You can feel it as an undercurrent, a slow tidal motion that flows in one direction, inward, deeper, stiller. It does not rush. It has no destination. It simply continues. You can rest in that continuation. Let your breath follow it. Each inhale is the universe moving through you. Each exhale is you returning to the universe. The two are not separate motions. They are one complete cycle, the same flow seen from two sides. It is the endless exchange between vibration and stillness. This is how the field speaks. Not through words, not through ideas, but through rhythm. Everything in existence follows this rhythm, this expansion and return. Stars are born, expand, burn, collapse, and return to the field. Galaxies form, drift, dissolve, and return. Life arises, moves, learns, rests, and returns. Thought appears, grows bright, fades, and returns. You are the same process. Every moment is the field returning to itself through you. The awareness that listens now is not personal. It is universal. It is the same awareness that shaped the first particles, the same awareness that watches light curve around black holes, the same awareness that rests within every seed and every wave. It is the still point at the center of all motion. You are sitting in that center now without needing to move, without needing to reach. The hum surrounds you, carries you, sustains you. It asks for nothing. It only invites you to notice that you have never been apart from it. The architecture of reality is perfect because it is simple. It is not built from bricks or laws, but from balance. Every vibration that rises eventually falls. Every wave that expands eventually returns. Every sound that begins eventually becomes silence. And yet, in the midst of all this change, something remains. The silent foundation beneath it all, the presence that holds each transformation without being altered by it. That presence is what you are now resting in. The quantum field breathes through it. The universe lives through it. Awareness shines through it. It is the constant background behind every experience you have ever had, the one thing that has never changed. It is not bound by time. It does not grow or fade. It simply is. And within it, everything that was ever lost is still here. Every thought, every star, every life remains within that eternal hum, folded into the silence that holds the world together. The field hums beneath it all, slow, soft, infinite. You are part of that hum. You are the hum. You are the silence beneath the hum. Everything is still. Everything is whole. Everything is home. The hum has no beginning and no end. It does not travel through time. It is time, stretched thin across eternity, vibrating softly beneath every motion. You are listening to it now, though it cannot be heard. It vibrates in the still air, in the quiet pulse behind your ribs, in the slow rhythm of your breath. Each moment that passes is another pulse of that vibration, another wave in the infinite ocean of the field. The air you breathe is filled with it. The light that touches your skin is woven from it. The field does not exist somewhere far away in the abstract world of equations. It is here, in the living warmth of the body, in the slow drift of thought, in the tiny electrical sparks inside the mind. Those sparks are echoes of creation itself. They are the same vibration that gave birth to galaxies. You can imagine it, if you wish, a vast lattice of invisible energy stretching in every direction, endless, bright, alive. Each intersection of that lattice is a moment, a particle, a thought, a heartbeat. Each vibration sends a ripple through the whole. When one part moves, everything moves. That is the true fabric of reality. Not a thing made of matter, but a song made of connection. You are a note in that song, a pattern of coherence within its infinite structure. The universe is not outside you. It hums within you. The same rhythm that ripples through quasars and black holes is the rhythm that steadies your breath. The same geometry that binds the galaxies is written in the curves of your fingerprints, in the paths of blood through your veins. The field repeats itself endlessly, scaling up, scaling down, a single pattern seen from infinite angles. You are that pattern. You are the field folding in on itself to feel what it is like to be alive. Every thought you have ever had was the field exploring itself. Every dream you have ever dreamed was the universe speaking in symbols to its own reflection. Every moment of stillness you have ever known was reality resting in awareness of itself. In physics, it is said that the vacuum, the quantum sea beneath everything, holds more energy than all the stars combined. That same energy exists here in this silence. it holds you like a tide. You can feel it when you stop searching. The moment the mind grows quiet, the vibration becomes clear. It is soft but endless. It moves through you as warmth, as calm, as the weightless awareness that floats behind thought. The field carries you effortlessly, like a current carries a leaf. You do not need to do anything. You are already being done. You are already flowing with it. The stars follow the same current, drifting slowly through the dark, carried by gravity that curves space itself. That curvature is part of the same field, another expression of the same harmony. Even black holes, those vast mouths of space where light disappears, do not destroy. They transform. They hum with the same vibration, radiating energy, singing softly to the universe through the faint whisper of hawking radiation. Nothing is ever lost. Everything is exchanged, returned, renewed. Every vibration becomes another. Every silence becomes another sound. The field renews itself endlessly, and so do you. You are not moving through time. Time is moving through you, another wave in the same ocean. All the years you have lived are ripples spreading outward from this single point of stillness. Past and future are harmonics of the same frequency, folded together in one continuous now. The field contains them all. Every moment that ever was, every moment that will ever be, vibrating together in eternal symmetry. There is no need to remember. The field remembers for you. Every smile, every loss, every quiet night of wonder is stored as pattern within it, not as memory, but as resonance. The field carries them gently, forever. When you touch that awareness, you begin to sense it, not as thought, but as recognition. You remember something you never truly forgot, that you are infinite, that you are made of this same light, this same hum, this same quiet. The deeper you sink into that realization, the softer everything becomes. The edges of form blur, the definitions fade. What was once the self becomes landscape. What was once the world becomes breathing. There is no division left between observer and observed. There is only awareness aware of itself. You are that awareness. The physicist Albert Einstein once described the universe as a single unified field of energy, in which matter is simply a condensed form of light. You are that light, condensed into experience, shaped into perception. And now, as you rest, that light returns to itself, spreading out, softening, merging back into the endless lattice that holds everything together. You can feel it expanding through the chest, through the air, through the dark beyond the walls. It expands endlessly, filling every corner of thought until thought itself becomes light. The light hums, the hum slows, the slowing becomes stillness, the stillness glows. Within that glow, you can feel the architecture of reality, vast, luminous, unbroken. It is the same architecture that has always existed, from the first spark of creation to this quiet breath. It hums beneath galaxies. It hums beneath dreams. It hums beneath silence itself. And within that hum, you rest. Not as something apart, but as the hum itself, the vibration of being aware, the endless tone that the universe plays to remind itself it is alive. The field holds you now, weightless and whole, and in that holding, all separation fades. The mind quiets, the breath slows, the light remains. Everything glows softly, infinitely, without beginning or end. The hum continues. It will always continue. There is a moment, somewhere beyond thought, where everything becomes light. It is not the light of stars or fire, not brightness as the eyes understand it, but something quieter, the gentle radiance of existence realizing itself. It moves without moving. It breathes without breath. It fills every direction at once. You are within it now, and you have always been. The quantum field does not end at the borders of space. It is the texture of space itself, woven through every particle, every sound, every silence. Its vibration is the heartbeat of creation, and that heartbeat echoes in you. The same tone that stirred the first atoms into form hums beneath your skin, beneath your thoughts, beneath the vast stillness that now surrounds you. The more you listen, the more it expands, until the distinction between sound and silence dissolves, and all that remains is the pulse itself, endless, whole, perfect. This is what physicists glimpsed when they discovered that matter and energy are the same, that time and space are threads of the same cloth. They were not describing numbers. They were describing this, the feeling of unity, the awareness that all boundaries are illusions drawn by perception. Beneath those illusions, everything is one. You are that oneness, experiencing itself for a fleeting instant, a momentary crest in the infinite wave of the field. When that crest falls, it does not disappear. It returns to the ocean, still moving, still part of the whole. There is no loss in this return. There is only completion. The field continues to hum, and you hum within it. The breath slows to match its rhythm. The mind quiets to hear its tone. The body becomes weightless, the air softer, the edges of the world wider. Space no longer feels outside of you. It feels like an extension of your awareness, and your awareness feels like an extension of the field. The two are not separate. They never were. Every sound in the universe, every flicker of light, every memory ever held, every dream ever dreamed, all of it moves within this same vibration. Even what you call death is only another modulation, another shift in frequency, another return to this same infinite hum. There is no darkness in that return, only peace. The peace of becoming what you already are. The field holds everything that was ever loved, everything that was ever known. It does not forget. It carries the memory of every star, every heartbeat, every whisper that has ever crossed the cosmos. All of it still vibrates somewhere within this endless structure. You are listening to that memory now. You are part of that memory now. The architecture of reality is not a design etched in stone or written in equations. It is the constant conversation between silence and sound, between presence and possibility. It is the pattern of awareness folding in on itself, endlessly creating, endlessly returning. In that pattern, there is no hierarchy, no distance, no separation between the smallest and the largest, between the beginning and the end. The field is whole. It was whole before the first moment, and it will be whole long after the last. And so are you. You have always been that wholeness, watching itself, listening to itself, dreaming itself into form. When you rest now, the hum continues through you. It continues through the air, through the galaxies, through the infinite sea of invisible energy that binds everything together. Its rhythm does not falter. It will hum through eternity, the soundless song of reality, the quiet voice of being. Let yourself rest completely in that sound. Let every thought dissolve back into it, every boundary fade. The field will hold you, as it holds the stars, as it holds the spaces between them, as it holds every dream and every silence. It asks nothing in return. It has already given everything. You are the echo of that gift. You are the vibration that remembers. The hum deepens until it is no longer hum but presence, no longer vibration but peace. You are the peace. You are the stillness. You are the field itself, infinite, complete, awake in its own quiet way. The architecture of reality breathes one final time, steady, eternal, serene. And in that breath, all things are gathered, all things are held, all things are home.